Okay, hey everybody, this is, obviously we got a little bit of a rough setup here. This is kind of my, I guess this is like sort of my punk rock setup here, you know, it's not, I don't have the, I would usually be recording, out there in the, with my chair, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm just kind of sitting here on my bed because I'm just gonna talk to you guys a little bit. This is I am gonna be weighing in on the controversy, this recent controversy that we've been seeing with this. Here we go. Well, with the gorilla that got shot. So Harambe was in the. So basically, if you don't know the story yet, it was a young boy who like kind of got away from his mother, and he went into the zoo enclosure of Harambe the gorilla. This was at the Cincinnati Zoo, and he did, like, Harambe kind of picked him up a little bit and grabbed and dragged the boy after he fell into the moat. Officials feared for the child's life. So already right here we're seeing a little bit of like they feared for the child's life. So that eventually Harambe did get shot and killed by the zookeeper, and this is a lot of animal rights folks came out and were like, oh, this is a travesty, you know, and I think I suppose they might have a point, because you know, a lot of people were saying like, oh, the boy's mother was irresponsible. She shouldn't have she should have been more responsible and allowed her boy to should not have allowed her boy to get away from her and get into the zoo enclosure. I don't even know how that happens, you know, honestly. So those people have a point too. But it says right here, the official, they did fear for the child's life. So I think, you know, I think everyone has a good point here. I think there are things to be learned from all sides. You know, I think that's kind of it's kind of the way of the world, in a sense, you know. It's, I mean, issues are rarely black and white, irrespective of what some of our politicians might have you believe. But I think that, you know, should the boy's mother have been more responsible? Yes, of course. And should the zookeepers have shot the boy? Of course not. But I think, you know, it's very sad that a child had to lose his life in this scenario. But I mean, what can you do? You know, he went into the pit. He knew the consequences of his actions, and you know, it's just kind of they unfortunately they did what had to be done, and so now that mother is well, she's certainly regretting her actions, I think. You know, I kind of have to wonder what you know, with all these like oh, the terrible parents controversies here, you know, you kind of got to wonder what the mother is thinking, like after because she's like, she hasn't really been in any interviews or anything after the fact, you know. It's not like she's in the limelight anymore. It's all about the child who got killed, and it's you know, it's a complicated issue, and but I think that there's a little bit to be learned from every side, and that when the zookeeper shot Harambe, he was probably doing what he thought was best in that situation. But at the same time, I think that it was bad that they had to shoot the gorilla, because I mean, you know, it was just a gorilla. He wasn't doing any. He wasn't like. I mean, he wasn't killing people. You know, it was just a gorilla. So Harambe is but he did what he thought was right, and so it says I think that everyone could learn a lesson from this situation, which is when you're at the Cincinnati Zoo, don't allow your children to go into the zoo enclosures, you know? No. But all joking aside, I think that this is a lesson in responsibility for parents everywhere, and this is a lesson in responsibility for zookeepers everywhere also, because they should maybe they should have, you know, tried to maybe just tranquilize him, you know. But that's what they said, that tranquilizing him would have probably riled him up, and then the child might have died. And so it's, you know, it's a difficult situation, but when you're in there, when you're in the heat of the moment, you gotta act fast, and you gotta do what you think is right. But you gotta apply that to everything, not just when you're in there in the heat of battle, you know, like figuratively speaking. But you gotta, when you're in the heat of battle as a parent too, you gotta be attentive of every second. You gotta live in the heat of that moment, and you've gotta really see what's going on with your child, and you got to make sure that they're not going away, because, you know, like, there are all these parents today, they're like leaving their kids in the cars and stuff, and they're like, you know, throwing their kids into these zoo enclosures, and it's really bad. And I think that this is really indicative of an inherent lack of responsibility that's being pushed onto us, you know, by the media today. And I think it's bad, but at the same time, we should try our best not to kill gorillas, because they're not people, but they're like, well, I mean, it's because it depends on your definition of person, but you know, they're not human beings, but they are living creatures like us, so we should try not to kill gorillas. Thank you.